Hello and welcome to Intro to Chem Lesson C, the metric system. Our measuring system that we're typically used to measuring things in is the English measuring system. So we do things like 1 foot equals 12 inches, or that there's 3 feet in 1 yard. And they vary, 8 ounces in a cup, and it varies back and forth. But the metric measuring system is base 10. So the metric measuring system is like our math system, and it's base 10. So each unit is a factor of 10 bigger or smaller than a base unit. Our base units for the SI system that we work with: length, your base unit is going to be the meter, and we abbreviate that with a small m. Volume, our base unit is going to be the liter, and that's a capital L. And then mass, our base unit is the gram, and that's a lowercase g. So each of these prefixes is a difference of 10. So a deci is 10 times smaller than a meter, and a centi is going to be 10 times smaller than a deci. So the deci is 10 times smaller than the meter, the centi is 10 times smaller than the deci, and the milli is going to be 10 times smaller than the centi. So if you go backwards, the milli is then going to be 10 times 10 times 10 times smaller than your base unit. So that is 1,000 times smaller than the base. So that means that there are 1,000 millimeters in every 1 meter. The deca is going to be 10 times larger than the base unit, and the hecto is going to be 10 times larger than the deca, and the kilo is going to be 10 times larger than the hecto. So again, 10 times 10 times 10, a kilometer is going to be equal to 1,000 of your base units of your meters. If you memorize the order of the units, then you only have to count how many places you're moving. Where am I starting from? Where am I going? How many decimal places is that, and in which direction? So if you're going from meters to centimeters, meters are here. Here's my meter. And I want to go to centimeters. That's 1, 2. I move my decimal place 2 places to the right. So it's simple. Okay, to help us remember this, I learned the order as king, hectares, duck, bit, Dave Carlson's mother, duck for the DK, for the deca, the B is your base unit, and Dave Carlson was an amazing science teacher here at Fredonia. He taught high school and middle school, and you guys probably don't know who he is anymore. So my students have told me lately that they learned it as King Hector's dog bit Doug Carell's mother. I had a student teacher who said they learned it as King Hector drinks beer, but we drink chocolate milk. Whatever trick you use for memorizing the order of the prefixes, you should get them memorized, and this way you can move your decimals back and forth. You just have to count. On your reference table, if you find your reference table and look at the front cover, Table C also has a set of the prefixes, and they don't have all of them. So notice that they're not all here. Kilo is here, and they have kilo as 10 to the third. So 10 to the third means 10 times 10 times 10, or 1,000. So a kilometer is 1,000 times larger than your base unit. Deci, you'll see it listed as 10 to the negative first. That's the same thing as saying 0.1. So a deci is 1/10 the size of your base unit. Centi at 10 to the negative 2. Centi is 1/100th of your base unit, and milli, of course, at 1/1000th of your base unit. Some other ones that you may see: micro, that's the funny little U. You use that in biology for micrometers. Nano is also small. You might have heard of nanotechnology. They're working with things very, very tiny. Look at that, 10 to the negative 9th. Atoms are measured in picometers. Picometers, 10 to the negative 12th. So, 11 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then your 1. That's how much smaller a picometer is compared to a meter in the first place. So really, really tiny. All of this big empty space over here to the side of Table C, this would be a great place to remind yourself that King, Hector's, Duck, Bit, Dave, Carlson's mother. This is your base unit, and that's going to be either for us meter, liter, or grams. Those are the three that we use. Some really common conversions, we will go back and forth from liters to milliliters quite often. Liters are the base unit, but they're a large amount for us to measure in lab, so we do things in milliliter units in lab. You should know that. And you should also remember that 1 milliliter has the same volume as 1 cubic centimeter, and we learn that in our density lab, and that's why we can do water displacement. So that one becomes really important as well. Those are the big major points of the metric system. It's base 10. Know the prefixes, know the order of the prefixes. The really important ones are on Table C. Your base units are on Table D. You can see the edge of them up here. There's another resource that you can use besides my lectures, and that's this Khan Academy website, so khanacademy.org. I don't know whether you've been told about this website or not, but he has lectures for all kinds of topics. The main focus is math. Math was done first, and there's actually a whole setup. You can make an account at khanacademy.org and do practice math, and it'll walk you through everything from addition and subtraction all the way up to differential calc. But he also has chemistry on there that you can listen to his lectures as well. And his lectures might focus on slightly different concepts and topics, some of them more advanced than what you would need for New York State Regents, some of them very basic, some of them exactly the same as the way I would do it. Okay, you'll see to the side here, there are lots of other topics based on the metric system. So you can go to Khan Academy if you need more review of the metric system than what I've given you. Okay, that's it for this lesson.